Karsten, thank you so much for coming on today, coming on the podcast. We've talked a little bit offline in the past. I think I've met you a couple of times in person, but might be our first time really sitting down and having a chat. And to do it on the podcast is that much more fun, in my opinion. I obviously have been following your journey for a while, from when I was still in college, maybe. So that would have been almost 7, 8 years now, when I first discovered that ninja was even a thing, in the Dallas area. And one of the things that I am more curious on than most is kind of what is it that you do when it comes to training other individuals? Do you train other athletes? Do you train like other people who are competing, or do you just train other people who just want to use ninja obstacle course training just as a way of getting fit? Like, what kinds of people do you train?
Yeah, great question, man. And obviously excited to be on the podcast, man. I've been, been a big fan of your journey as you got into fitness, and like you were very, really just inspired to get your health and fitness personally better. And I was inspired by just like your work ethic, working with JB, and so it's been cool to kind of reconnect after time has
Mm,
passed, and a lot of time has passed. A lot of things have changed in my life too, as well, since then. And so it's been really great to get back on here with you, man, to share the stage with you on this podcast. And but yeah, I like the question, because a lot of times everything's usually centered around like me and like my personal training, which obviously,
mm-hmm.
different things, happen with that. But a big piece of my current situation is training others. And the majority, it's kind of split into two parts. So there's a big demographic of people that I train that are using the obstacles and ninja type of training to stay fit, just to stay active, keep it fun, engaging. And then the other half is the competitive side, where a bunch of our youth athletes are competing like almost every weekend to like just push themselves to the limits and look at getting that championship, that trophy. And there's so many different leagues out there as well. And so
Right.
we're preparing those kids and adults for all the different leagues and everything that they're pursuing, whether it be Ninja Warrior, because they're now, several of them are of age where they can compete on Ninja Warrior at 15. And some of them are really heavy competitors outside of the show and the various leagues out there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a big 50-50 split between training individuals for the sport of ninja.
So you mentioned earlier about kind of using it. People, maybe for the sake of conversation, we'll call them normal people. Just using it to stay fit versus using it to like actually compete in any sort of competition. How would you compare ninja then to more general, like in the gym training, weightlifting, even calisthenics to an extent? Like, what's almost like the selling point of training like this versus one of the more established ones?
Yeah, I really feel that I think it's taken a while for like the whole like the mass population to kind of get exposed to it. But I truly believe that this style of training, the Ninja Warrior training, the obstacle training, is the best training to become like a well-rounded athlete for any sport. So whether you're doing football, baseball, basketball, like training this type of on these type of apparatuses and the programming, you're building grip strength, hand-eye coordination, explosive power, rotational strength. I mean, it's phenomenal, like the type of athlete. I really feel like we're building like superheroes and like video game characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you can jump, you can swing, you can run, you can do anything. And I think it's really cool. It's a fun way of training, and it's really, you can attack it all different ways. I believe it involves strength training with like weights, free weights,
Mm-hmm.
your plyometrics, your calisthenics, your parkour, your body weight training. All of those things really kind of go into like a Ninja Warrior obstacle athlete training kind of module there.
Yeah, I remember when I first tried it, my buddy, he had told me that, oh, there's a facility out in Frisco that that does this stuff, and we were just getting to calisthenics. I think I might have just gotten one muscle up, and we were just training muscle ups at that point and trying to train our pull up strength. He said there's a facility there. I said we're going. It doesn't matter. I could be doing fuck all at whatever I'm doing that weekend. We're going. And I remember trying the salmon ladder for the first time, because for me, the salmon ladder was bar none my favorite obstacle of that time. And I was like, if I can't conquer this, I don't deserve it. And so my first goal was to hit the salmon ladder. That shit is hard.
Yeah.
Like when you're just, because I think a lot of what I've noticed is with this type of training is you have to be really committed to the motion. You can't just, it's not like you're about to do a deadlift and you're just like in the resting position. It's not like you're about to hit a squat and you just have the weight on your bar just chilling there, right? Like as soon as you're hanging on like a salmon ladder, you have to start going up, because if you just dead hang for too long, you're not going to get that explosive power. Your body is not going to like rubber band the way you wanted to, like all those things. And every single time I would start it, I was like, okay, I'm hanging. Now let me start. I'm doing a pull up. What the fuck is this? Like I can't get this thing over the rung. It was so addicting. But it's also very draining. It is actually very aggressively draining. I feel like if I think spending 10 to 15 minutes and I'm doing any of those like movements and I'm gassed.
Yeah.
100%. It took the entire 3 months of training with JB for me to even feel like I can do an entire workout and not feel like I'm going to vomit. Because every single time I would come to the gym, I remember we would be doing like that weekend hero training workout. And every single time there's one thing in like the middle or towards the end where we're doing an exercise and I'm done. And I have to go step outside, like breathe fresh air, pant, like cool down. And it was so frustrating. And I remember like, it's like so hard to get into sometimes, but I feel like the workouts weren't hard necessarily. It was just like, it's very intense. It feels very intense. Have you seen other people who kind of have like a slower entry into getting started, but then, you know, they pick up speed just soon after?
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta, it's one thing, you have to be patient with it. Like a lot of people come in with like very high expectations. I did. I'm like, man, like I got to be able to hop in and get like right to it. And some of that was true, like some like just the pure strength. You have to, like you mentioned, like the salmon ladder. That's a very skilled technical movement, along with the power and everything. And so you have to really kind of master those components in order to make everything else easier on you. So a lot of times you don't have to be the strongest guy in the gym, but if your technique is really good, you can really get through a lot of the movements with good technique. I really just try people to be patient, just like it's a journey to be, to fail early, fail often, but just go get the reps in, and eventually it'll start clicking for you. And so if people kind of going with that mindset, then they won't get frustrated on their first experience with the Ninja Warrior app.
What have been, I guess, over your time and either different, not even necessarily on the show, but like doing different courses even off the show, what have been some of your favorite and maybe your least favorite like obstacles to go through?
Yeah, so you mentioned earlier, like the salmon ladder is like was my favorite still to this day. Any bar that you take it and move it to like another area, another obstacle, another, whatever. Like I love those type of movements. So anything you're taking something with you, I love those type of obstacles there. Least favorite, I would say probably like they call them vertical limits. They're like the cliffhangers. Everybody playing is where you go through like an inch and a half. But there's something called a vertical limit. And in that piece, you're like a centimeter of like space to get on there. And it's like it's grueling, it's tough, and it's like I don't train on it quite a bit, and that's why I suck at it. And but it's probably his favorite. It's just it hurts your fingertips. I don't enjoy it the least bit.
Yeah. That's fair. No, I could never get my grip strength where I wanted it and my finger strength where I wanted it to even feel comfortable on those. As soon as as soon as there's no dip and it's just a flat shelf for you to hook onto, I'm like, this is not me. I'm done. I'm done. I'm just gonna drop right here. I don't care. There could be a sea underneath me. I'm dropping. I can't hold on. My fingers will not do it. And I remember like part of like I think I probably asked you at some time when I was in the gym and then I worked out with JB, but like y'all recommended towel hangs were a big thing to try in terms of like doing grip strength. And when I tried towel hangs, oh my God, that shit hurt.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
hurts.
that's
It
abuse.
really hurts. It's great. If anybody listening, if you want to train your grip strength, towel hangs, amazing. Painful, but amazing. Um,
Hmm.
but besides that, like I don't know, I thought rock climbing would like help over time, but it's like a different type of grip strength with rock climbing versus because even with the ninja, like you said, it's very explosive. It's very quick. Like you're not hanging on there for time, and you don't have your feet.
Hmm.
It's all on your fingers, and so you don't really hang on there to hang. You got to like hang, jump off, jump off, jump off, jump off. Um, no, that's hard. That's hard. How have you? I guess speaking of being in the air, then one of my biggest fears and the reason why I never could get myself to compete was the fear of being in the air. The fear for me was specifically the fear of lashing up to a bar higher than where I'm currently swinging. I could not get
Hmm.
over that no matter how many times I attempted it. Like I could swing above the bar. I could just never swing and latch onto something else above the bar. I would look up, get scared, and completely just like lose all momentum. But have you ever had people you've worked with who've had that same type of fear or like fear of being in the air and kind of how did you guys work through that?
Yeah, yeah, that's a really good question there. A lot of the kids, especially when they're coming in, you can get them swinging, they're getting confident, but once you get them like to, okay, I need you to throw from this bar to the other bar, which is
Mm-hmm.
the lache, then they're like, oh, like they're scared. They're a little,
Yep.
it's time to go. They just keep hanging on, keep swinging. I'm like, hey, you need to go. And the more time you take, obviously, the higher chance of like, having a bad fall because your grip is starting to give out. And yeah, those mental blocks can be a big piece to work through. And you just got to kind of take the end goal and just kind of really reverse engineer it. And so it's more of like, okay, hey, don't even go for the obstacle. Just swing and just try to
Mm,
jump and swing off and just reach up as high as you can. Like
yeah.
just make it baby steps where it's like, okay, I can reach an inch above, 2 inches above where you want me to go. Okay, I can do that. And then just okay, go 4 inches up higher, incrementally kind of working towards that higher point. And eventually it's okay, don't grab the bar, maybe just high five the bar,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're spotting them too, like, hey, like you maybe lightly touching them around like their kind of like their hip, their rib cage area, so they kind of feel you that you're there. So
Mm-hmm.
spotting helps quite a bit, and so those combinations right there will help them feel the safety of like, okay, I'm not gonna like kill myself if I don't make it.
Right.
But I feel a little bit more confident to try to make the move, and some kind of catch on faster than others,
Mm-hmm.
and really just got to kind of meet that individual where they're at, you know. And the funny thing is, some people they don't have that fear and they're ready to throw it. That can be also dangerous as well because they don't know what they're
Right.
doing, but they don't mind sending it. And so you got to be kind of mindful of like, okay, this guy's ready to go, but his technique is not looking great. And so you got to be ready, kind of as a good coach, you got to be kind of ready, look at the eyes of the individual, make sure they're like, okay, do they look confident? They look good. Okay. Know when to step in to be ready for that catch or whatever to keep them
Right.
safe. And so, but the fear factor is a big thing, especially heights, throwing yourself in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cool, invigorating feeling, but it can be scary. But when you master it, it's like, yeah, you feel like Superman, when you're going
Right.
through there.
No, 100%. Like when you don't have the fear of nothing being underneath your feet and you're just going, it feels great. But then as soon as I don't know, sometimes I just like I won't think about it, and then as soon as I think about it, it's like oh shit, there's like nothing underneath my feet. There's nothing there. If I fall, foam pit, or if I fall, ground.
Hmm.
So I agree. I think the baby steps thing is great though. When I was trying to I think I maybe trained in like the wrong conditions because when I was trying to train, obviously I was still in Paris, Texas. I was working with JB over in Dallas and Frisco and stuff, but um, I couldn't. I could never practice like actually lashing because all my Anytime Fitness had was this long metal bar that went across the free weight area. So I don't know what these middle-aged and older generation individuals who were coming just to pump like 60 pounds in the dumbbells thought of this scrawny kid swinging from the bar, like literally just flying out into the open and then landing. Like that was all. I would just fly and land, just like try and fly as far as I could, and I had to limit myself because if I flew too far, I would fly into a machine. But that's all I could do, right? So like I got really good at distance, I feel like, but I could never really train like height and train verticality there. And I think at some point, I'll probably try it again. Probably work through it a bit more slowly this time. But I think at some point, even if it's not to compete, like just for myself, of knowing that you stopped because of a fear, but now you overcame that fear and kept going. I think that I would do that. But when it comes to, I guess, training other people, and then when do you get time to train yourself? Then if you're, kind of doing a lot with other people.
Yeah. It's funny because I've been trained a lot myself personally through kind of I'm in a different kind of season right now with my personal training, getting myself ready because right now I don't have any competitions on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
But the kids I train do. There's always competitions, leagues going on like around the clock, and so my training has taken a back seat now. There will be filming for American Ninja Warrior probably in the fall, like around September. So once I kind of like get that like on my mind, then I kind of start kicking it back up in high gear.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like any other sport like boxing or like UFC.
Right.
Like once you get like a fight, then like you get a training camp for 6-8 weeks or whatever and prepare
Mm-hmm.
for it. And so like all this technique and stuff is very sound. I just matter of like kind of waking things up and like getting the flow and the groove and stuff going. And but I definitely I get better by training others too, because
Mm-hmm.
just by working through their kind of little things and nuances, I'm like, okay, like that's going to help me get better as well. Because I'm like, when you have to teach someone, you become better too through that
Right.
process. And so, but I still love like competing, and it's fun to see other people kind of break through barriers and overcome different, unlock new challenges or achievements, getting the stamina
Mm-hmm.
ladder, getting other things accomplished, which is great. So that's the more fulfilling part is now kind of I've had my like highest of the highs accomplishments, one of the most
Yeah.
decorated athletes out there. Now it's like, okay, we pass that down to the next generation and help them kind of come up through the ranks and, use my
Mm-hmm.
experience to help them through the competitions and also just like kind of marketing themselves to kind of like get opportunities and,
Yeah.
really push the sport forward.
Yeah. I actually want to touch on that real quick. Well, before I touch on that, I wanted to ask going back to when you do, I guess, have your kind of boot camp before competing again, do you do that solo? Do you have a trainer for yourself, or do you just kind of like plan your own kind of program and then just kind of work through it?
A little bit of both. Like the training in the gym. It's funny because like with Ninja Warrior, like competitors and stuff, like we all kind of it's a very individual sport. And so a lot
Yeah.
of especially like the adults and stuff, a lot of them like train themselves, follow like various programs, but
Mm-hmm.
most people, like including myself, you train with like a crew, like
Mm-hmm.
whether it's your other coaches, like me, JB, Jacob, Isaiah, like we get together, we train each other, and like as we're training, the other person's like, hey, like you needed a bigger swing there, and like they're
Mm-hmm.
giving us tips because a lot of times when you're doing the motion, you don't see how you're moving, but the other guy that's there, like, hey, yeah, take another swing. You're not swinging high enough, and so we kind of train each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really follow any specific program. I kind of like freestyle it in a sense. Like
Yep.
there's some things that kind of like I'm trying to build my strength, like trying to incrementally increase weight, stuff like that. But for the most part, I just kind of I like to try different things out to see what's getting me the most benefit. And that way I can like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this worked better for me to get stronger in this area, or
Yeah.
this didn't work out as much. But a lot of people like the coaches, the athletes,
Yeah.
they usually get better and by training with their crew, like our True Momentum, like Dallas training community. We just kind of
Mm-hmm.
it's a community, a social kind of thing. We all just kind of like hang out, train, get better together, celebrate each other's wins. And but
Mm-hmm.
there's so many training like modalities out there that people follow, and you can ask like 10 people like what their training program looks like. They'll give you 10 completely different
Right.
ways of training, which is cool. I don't think anybody has like the kind of the golden template yet, but it's fun to experiment because
Mm,
it's a new sport. It involves so many disciplines, so
right.
it's like, okay, which one do you focus on? Really, you just gotta focus on where you're needing help in, where your weaknesses are, focus on those, keep accelerating the strengths, keep improving on that. But that's the fun part, is kind of
Mm,
just being your own kind of clinician and finding out what's the best way to train for you and your body type and your how you respond, and everything like that, mentally and physically.
right. So like along with the training and stuff, is this something where you have to kind of dial in your nutrition and dial in kind of other parts of your life as well, kind of go almost into like the full athlete mode? What does that look like for you? Do you usually like year round, are you pretty like, or do you maintain it pretty well year round, or is it like you kind of chill on the off season, so you have to dial it in a little bit more when you're training?
Yeah, usually before like a season of the show, I'll try to get my like tighten up on my diet a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
I for the most part, year round, I'm very balanced with my diet. Like I don't go to any extreme. Like I love ice cream, I love pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very kind of like regimented on like protein shakes and stuff like that. So when it's leading up to a competition, Ninja Warrior for the show, usually I'll really dial in like my carb intake to
Mm-hmm.
try to lean out a little bit, because the easiest way to feel lighter on the course and feel stronger is to just cut some body fat. And so if you can just
Right.
dial back your sugar intake, your carbs, you can get down to like my best like Ninja Warrior weight is like 170,
Gotcha.
which I'm around there right now. And so usually I just get a little bit tighter on my water intake, loosen up on the carbs, more protein, more activity, and that usually kind of really gets me to where I'm really good, ready for these competitions where I'm feeling light, feeling focused, feeling nice and flowy, and
Mm-hmm.
feeling confident out there.
Do you know if you're carb adaptive or fat adaptive?
I process carbs really well.
Okay.
That's for sure. And so, like, if I just make any small adjustment on that, like, I can feel a difference really quick.
Right.
And so, like, naturally, thin guys like myself, yourself, our body types we're made to be able to take on a lot of carbs and not
Mm-hmm.
really be impacted too much.
Mm-hmm.
But also harder for us to put on muscle.
Right.
So, and whereas others, like, hey, they can put on muscle, no problem, harder to lose fat. So,
Right.
that's which our body type really suits well for this type of training. Any kind of body weight training works well for
Mm-hmm.
that. Strongman competition, we're not going to be excel at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
Not really. When they say people are built different, that's exactly how we're built different. Um, I've I just got done with like a pretty exhausting 2-3 week sprint for my tax busy season. But before that, we changed gyms, and so I thought, part of like changing gyms to it was an LA Fitness. They had a kind of a deal going on for like a 3 month physical training, and I thought, usually every busy season, there's three things that drop off: my hobbies, my nutrition, and my physical activity. So basically
Mhm.
everything to keep me happy drops. And then I'm doing is working. I'm just logged in. I work, go to bed, wake up, go to work again. And so I thought, okay, well, I think I'm gonna need some way to counter that. Um, Nutrition is all on me, but I can at least maybe offload a little bit of my physical training to somebody else just to like tell me what to do. And
Mhm.
so I did this once a week training, and because of what you said, like our body types are just different. My goal was to put on muscle, see if I could put on 10 pounds in like 3 months or whatever. Like I don't even know what the goal was. But it was just to put on muscle. And this coach, this trainer was putting me through like almost full body workouts each time, because it was just once a week, and then I would go work out on my own. So I was only working out 2, maybe 3 times a week max, which is actually great when you're super busy because you don't have to get into the gym for 2 hours each time.
Mhm.
Um, but I still, couldn't see like, physical strength differences. Yes, I was hitting more weight than I have in the past. Missing calisthenics a little bit, but getting stronger. And then I was like, sometimes I look in the mirror and think, why am I not seeing it physically? And then it would hit me, you're not getting enough protein, Arish. Please, God, please drink more protein, eat more protein, do anything else but eat bread. But it's tough. It's tough doing all of it at once. And I think, sometimes I feel like we don't say it enough in terms of the kudos and the certifications and the flowers that go to athletes for really being able to dial in of like, I have to compete. Like my body is literally the thing that is on the line here. If I can't have this cookie today, I can't have this thing today. Like I just cannot. It's not going to be good for me in the long run. Especially to your point of like being so dialed in to know when you eat certain things how they immediately can affect your body, or in like 3 hours I'm going to feel slower. Yep. I think it's really dope how tuned in like people like you are in their body. I one of the things I'm thinking about is maybe not now but a little bit later of like actually trying to dial back in, because I was really dialed in college, because college is easy to where I can do other things like dial in on nutrition, dial in on working out, dial in on other things. As soon as I started working 9 hours a day, it's like, my brain can't handle like thinking about every single thing. And so thinking about dialing in on my nutrition, I'm like, I just can't be bothered. I just want to eat. I want to go back and do this thing.
Yeah.
But then there's days when I'm like, dude, you didn't eat anything for the first 6 hours of the day and you felt great. And I'm like, how does that bode for my weight gain goals? How does that bode for my like strength training goals? And I think the question that I want to ask you is, when I guess, what have been some either hacks or things that come more easily to you in terms of putting on weight or strength and like keeping it versus kind of it falling off?
Yeah, I think one of the hacks with at least for me that have been served me well is I need convenience. So convenience really helps me. And so like protein shakes are the one of the easiest things to do, because you can, whatever you need for that meal, like, okay, I need extra carbs, okay, throw some peanut butter, throw this in there, double the protein in that thing. Oh, I need more calories. Oh, throw a scoop of ice cream in there. Like you can just really easily put whatever you need into that concoction and then drink it. So that is a huge thing for me, is protein shakes. Get you good quality protein, whether it's vegan or whey or whatever. That really helps. And then there's so many options out there too with like prepared meals,
Right.
which you can just go. Obviously, you're going to pay a little bit more for that, but sometimes I feel like, hey, if I can like save time and that, I'll put the money into that to save on time, make it easy.
Yep.
Take the legwork out of me thinking about it out. I can just focus on what I need to do with the training and stuff like that. Make the other stuff easy. So the protein shakes, meal prep. A lot of times I got friends that, oh, I'm doing meal prep. Hey, put me down for like 5 meals. Usually it's like $10 a meal. It's all game. Rather have that time that I want so I can focus on other things.
Yep.
So those are probably the biggest items there. And then, just focus on like small things like your water intake, focus on like good water, like, that's got minerals in there. So like things like that, I'm looking at putting like, Celtic, sea salt in my water to make sure I'm getting the minerals. Like minerals are huge. So there's a lot of easy things you can do to really dial in your intake, your nutrition, to maximize your benefits with the training that you do, whether it be limited or you have all the time in the world to train. So that works really well for me. I'm busy. I'm always doing something, working, consulting, training other people. And so I need easy, convenient stuff that can contribute to the goal.
Yeah. I find it really awesome that you said the convenience thing, because I think that's underrated in terms of talking, or not underrated. It's under talked about in terms of how important convenience is and using money to buy time back. Because in the past few years, and I've followed a lot of fitness creators, I've followed a lot of non-fitness creators, or just creators in general, and they always give their productivity tips, and they give their like workout tips, and here's my morning routine, and here's what I eat in a day, and here's quick, easy meals. And it's like, at the end of the day, if you're somebody who works 10 hours a day, I just want to go and eat and still hit my goals. It's like, what, how can I do that conveniently? The shakes, the bars, I know some people take like a big thing recently has been greens, like greens powders or greens pills
Yeah,
to be like, listen, I don't care about vegetables. I don't know how to cook them well. I don't like them. I know they're important for me. I'm just gonna drink my greens. I do that now. I have a greens
that's
powder
me.
that yep. It's my protein shake is one of the nastiest things that I drink, but it's like it's a greens powder with the chocolate protein, and in order to mask how badly that combination is, I had to put cinnamon in there with the almond milk, not unsweetened vanilla, um, and it's one of the nastiest things sometimes. But as soon as I know, like I got this one scoop in, I don't have to think about vegetables for the rest of the day. I really don't
Mhm.
have to. Like I could have more, but I don't have to. And I think the ease of mind there is like the biggest thing. Of like I can go focus on other things because our brains can only take so much. Um, Going to actually back on that life hacks thing in terms of nutrition, the convenience factors of shakes and ready made meals. Are there any other like things that have helped you dial in, or maybe in your case optimize, but maybe it might help somebody else just get their physical health better? Are there any things that you've done recently that have helped? Whether it's like for me, it's always been like when I get back on foam rolling, it helps. When I get back on like massage gunning, it helps. When I get back on morning
Mhm.
walks, it helps.
Yeah, yeah, I love the. I mean, I'm big on like tech and like gadgets and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
along with the nutrition hacks. I love the kind of the red light. Kind of there's some tools out now that you can just like. There's a product called the Kinian
Mm-hmm.
Move Pro that you can just strap on to any kind of like soft tissue area, whether you got like a leg thing going on. You can put
Mm-hmm.
this red light on there, and it helps with your recovery. Like I got banged up during this current season that's airing in June of Ninja
Mm-hmm.
Warrior. You'll see kind of what happened. But going into that, I had some injuries going into it. So I was doing the red light. I was seeing my guy over at, I was getting some work done um, at the in Frisco. The name is dropping right now, but they had a lot of tools. They were doing the like cupping. It was
Yep.
like physical, no, like muscle, like tissue release, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That really was helping me kind of just stay in the game to get through the season. And so that was really helpful. Like the hypervolts, those massage
Yep.
guns, those were really well. There's so many things out there now, like the technology and the new like innovations and like recovery and like
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff is great. And I like all of them. I
Yeah.
think all of them play a good role. And that's a really big plus. So like all those gadgets out there, the red light I think is really good. No, cryo, there's cryo is great. I haven't done too much of the cryo lately, but anything, to kind of cool that body down is going to be great for you. And then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the foam rolling bands, just anything that you can kind of travel with as well, are
Yep.
going to be very beneficial to your just overall training program. So very helpful. I'm gonna find out my guy because Dr. Matt Ortega was helping me out leading up to the season and also through the
Mm-hmm.
season. I was getting banged up and getting injured. Yeah, you'll see it. I got this is probably my biggest
Oof.
season of getting injured and
Yeah.
banged up. Most of it like self-inflicted though.
Yeah.
But
No, that's fair. That's fair. Do you prefer cryo versus saunas, or do you kind of use both?
I like the sauna as well. I think both are good. Everybody's doing
Mm-hmm.
like the cold plunges as well. I think
Everybody doing the cold plunge to the sauna to the cold like the 3 minutes in and out. Yeah.
yeah. There's with the cryo now because sometimes it's hard to get access to the cryo. Like it can be expensive sometimes. There's a localized cryo where they just take this little like gun looking thing. They can just shoot it on certain areas and it just
Mm-hmm.
puts the cryo on that specific area. That seems to be really good. And yeah, the sauna, like anytime you can sweat out those toxins and just get your body, the lymphatic system moving out stuff, your recovery
Mm-hmm.
will be much quicker. So,
Yeah.
I feel like, everybody's try those things out, see what you like, see how your
Yeah.
body responds to it. Like do those things, most of those things you want to do them for like at least a few weeks to let your body see how your body adapts to it. Try it, see how your body responds to it. Then you can kind of determine, okay, is this helping me or not? If not, maybe don't focus on that too much. Focus on the things that you can feel a good positive response with, and then kind of roll with that. So everybody's unique, but I think it's good to try out different stuff and see how your body feels and responds to it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. There was Oh shoot, there's one more thing you said, and now I'm completely just blanking on it. Oh, that's what I was gonna ask for. And the last like life hack, I guess, is for mental health, because I can imagine competing a lot takes a big toll on you mentally, whether not, you know, not exceeding your expectations, not meeting your expectations, kind of expecting more, working towards a goal that you're like, you know, I worked 8 weeks to get to this course, and now I dropped in like the second obstacle sometimes. Like all that stuff kind of happens, and we see that. How do you work through that? How do you kind of work through getting your mind right going into it, and then kind of getting your mind right going out of it too?
Yeah, so oh yeah, it just came to my mind. So Kinetic Center in Frisco, that's where I was
Awesome.
getting Dr. Matt Ortega. Shout out to my guy, kept me alive. But
Mm-hmm.
um so yeah, the mental preparation, man, like that, I'm glad you brought that up. That's probably the biggest piece, especially like in any big competition, and just in general, like even in life, like there's gonna be like ebbs and flows of like success, failure, and ninja. Like that's probably it's a really one of the coolest sports out there, but probably one of the biggest areas or sports that really you're gonna fail a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
not just in the training and missing obstacles, but like you don't have these big competitions. You might have like, okay, I'm champion here, I got first place. Next competition, you're like failing the first obstacle, last place. Like that's happened to be on the show. And you really just have to go into it with the mindset of like, okay, hey, this is a journey. Almost like the stock market, it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually you just want to keep on, you know, cruising. But you just have to focus that, it's about the journey. And if you just focus on what you can do today, that competition coming up, what you can do in that specific competition, not taking anything that happened prior, or if you do use it, take anything from prior, use that as motivation to like push yourself harder. Like, hey, that bad
Mm-hmm.
fall I had before, like, okay, like now I'm playing with a chip on my shoulder. I'm going to go out and prove that like I can come back and bounce back hard. And so for me personally, now that I have like a lot of kids I coach, and then like a lot of people like watching me and my moves, I'm really focused on like how that looks when I'm out there competing. If I fail, like how do I respond to that? What am I showing,
Yeah.
um, like on screen or even like off screen? How am I coming back to that? And so especially with the kids, because with kids and the youth, they respond differently to failure. They like, when it's great, it's great. When it's down, like some of these kids, they get really down because like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm not good, blah, blah, blah. So you really, I think it's important to have a good support system, whether it's coaches, friends that you can kind of lean on, parents. And then my mom
Mm-hmm.
has been a big supporter for me when I had some failures early on in my ninja career, and then also in life,
Yeah.
being able to kind of pick me up, speak life into me. And then also my faith is really big. And if you know that really plays a huge role in just the mental aspect. If you can master that, then everything else will work
Mm-hmm.
itself out, because it really comes down to putting in the reps, just the confidence, going into it. Everything else will work itself out if you just keep applying those steps.
Yeah. Have you ever like worked through like breath work and meditations and things like that in the past, or have other, I guess, techniques helped you more?
Yeah, especially before, like right before a competition, like a big competition, like I try to get some time to myself. It's kind of a two-phase thing. I try to find some quiet
Mm-hmm.
time, like just, meditate, talk to God, like, hey, just, whatever you have for me on this course, like just I want to make sure that I'm showing you and making you proud, and just let me just do my best. And then there's like a hype mode as well. Like I'm putting
Yep.
on some music, I'm getting my head going, I'm like getting into that, like I'm about to go to war type thing,
Yep.
because that's how I treat, just like obstacles in life. Like, hey, this is a battle. Like, I'm playing to win, not
Mm-hmm.
against, not really to beat out somebody else. I'm looking to beat my weak side, my weak version of myself
Mm-hmm.
that I don't claim. So it's,
Yep.
it's that kind of battle, and so that's the motivation. And also, it's more, that kind of meditation of like just focus on that breath work, calming that body down, get into that state of like that flow state where you're visualizing yourself going through the
Mm-hmm.
course or whatever it is you're about to do. Those two, I think, together work really well for me. And I've, obviously I've had some good success because of some of those things. And not always a guarantee, but I think it puts you in the best position
Yeah.
to do well in whatever you're doing.
What what's on your hype playlist? Put us on game. What's on your hype playlist?
Man, I got a few, man. It's if it's like about to be like Ninja Warrior, um, man, it's like some young Jeezy,
Mm-hmm.
some stuff to get me hyped up. It's some Lil Wayne in there, man. And then I got some like Christian praise worship music in there as well, like getting me just feeling all like, just feeling
All
glorified,
hype
man.
and faithful.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
both, man. I need both, man, And so yeah, those are a few, man, a lot of like Forrest Frank. He's real
Mm-hmm.
hot right now. Yeah, it's a lot of I do like instrumental, like electric music too. Like I just want to
Right.
like I don't want to hear any words sometimes. I just want to hear the beat and the vibe and just
Yep.
kind of like just vibe out, get into a flow. And so yeah, I love all types of like, music to get me ready. Music is a big piece of like just me in
Mm-hmm.
general. So
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. I've experimented with different types of music in the past, and oddly enough, starting in high school, I got really big into reggaeton, and so all the way through college, my workout was almost always reggaeton. Dancing was reggaeton, and then at some point, it got not to be enough, and I don't know why. But if you've ever seen those memes of like people who are like, they're pumping like 800 pounds, and in their head they have like Amazing Grace or some like sad song like playing or whatever. That's me. That's me with like Indian music. That's me with like Indian pop music. There's like this is the saddest, chillest things. But then I'm in the gym. I'm pumping. I'm going. I'm ready, and I'm like this does not correlate at all. It's not getting me hype. It's just getting me like I don't even know if I'm happy, but this music just helps me. I like that. There's just like there's different things for different people. Um,
yeah, and I've seen you vibing out too, man, with your music, man. I see you in there.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get back into it. My buddies are obviously who are still in Dallas. They're dancing a lot more. I have stopped dancing. I stopped dancing years ago, like frequently, and then stopped even more when I moved up here to Pennsylvania. And so it's um every time I try it, I'm like, fuck, I'm rusty. It's gross. I'll be at the gym and I'll just go into like their back room. I'll turn the lights off and I'll just like dance. And then somebody comes in and turns the lights on. I'm like, damn it. Ah. I don't want to look at myself in these floor length mirrors and stuff. I just want to
Mhm.
like dance and then get out. Um okay, I think that was a really good uh overview on Karsten the competitor. I I I now want to talk to Mr. Williams, the businessman, because from when I first met you in Indonesia, I saw then that you guys were working on True Momentum and then on Project Dallas. So I'm really curious on what that is. If you can explain that.
Yeah, so I got my hands in a lot of things, man. Obviously trying, that's one of the reasons why I feel like my training is taking a little bit of a backseat. I'm focused
Mm-hmm.
on building a platform, for Dallas and not just Dallas, but nationwide to create more access to Ninja, promote the sport, help people get in position to win
Mm-hmm.
on and off the course. So starting out, the True Momentum, our like Dallas training community, that's kind of like our social, our gang,
Yep.
is about positivity. And then after the last facility I was at in Frisco, branched out, started doing consulting for coaching for other gyms that needed like
Mm-hmm.
coaching, needed expertise to help build their program. So, doing that, launched Ninja Project, which is the new brand for, Dallas Ninja. And that's a platform for getting Ninja out there in the community. So we have a mobile
Mm-hmm.
course that we take out for different events, schools,
Right.
churches. That's been going great. And then just really love the impact that's been making. And then also we have plans to open a facility in the North Dallas area that we'll be using. Obviously, Ninja will be a big piece of that, but we also want to create a community, like a social environment. So for
Mm-hmm.
creators, for entertainment, for nutrition,
Mm-hmm.
recovery, strength training, all that kind of in a one-stop shop. And so we really want to change the game when it comes to functional fitness.
Right.
And also the social thing. People like to connect, and so that's a big project that we're launching. The mobile course is already currently in
Mm-hmm.
process or progress, but the facility is we're aiming to get that going this year. Along with that, I work with the kind of the organization that is helping Ninja get to the Olympic level.
Mm-hmm.
It's USA Ninja Association. So that's a big piece that I'm that's kind of still in the works right now. It's very
Yeah.
volunteer based. I'm working with the nonprofit Neighborhood Ninjas to create more access to communities for ninja and help people that
Mm-hmm.
are underprivileged to get opportunities to compete, to travel, and support them in their efforts. And then yeah, along with the consulting, and then it's a big piece as well. So yeah, I just love, and also currently, which I'm having a lot of fun, is I'm doing commentating
Mm-hmm.
for Team Ninja Association, and so I'm like almost like the kind of the Akbar from the
Yep.
show Ninja Warrior doing his role. So I'm commentating on these different live events that are taking
Mm-hmm.
place. We have the finals here on the 4th of May in at Fair Ox in New York. For a big competition, myself, Taylor Johnson, we're doing some commentating there. And then also I'm working with my buddy David, who owns the Kava Bar, which is a really cool concept. It's a great place to gather. It's social. They have
Mm-hmm.
these cool kind of plant-based botanical beverages you can drink that help you become a social butterfly, help you just relax, chill, do
Yep.
remote work. So I'm big on like business development. I love just building business and like just building things, creating
Mm-hmm.
things that other people can enjoy.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm about, man. It's sometimes it drives me crazy trying to do. I feel like I do too much sometimes. I say yes to too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I love helping. I love the sport of ninja. I really want to make sure that flourishes
Yeah.
while I still have an impact and influence on it.
Well, first of all, yes, you from what you just said, yeah, your hands are in multiple different things right now, and it seems like they all connect overarchingly to your goal of like ninja and pushing it and supporting it and trying to be one of, it seems like, and already are in some ways, a foundational like supporter of it. And so everything that you're doing I've seen has just been pushing
Mhm.
ninja overall, which I think, it's cool that, I'm not sure how you feel, but to me it seems like, because all the things you're doing are still related to that one goal in mind, that it's probably still gratifying, even if maybe you're not training, but that, like, okay, maybe if I'm not training myself to compete, everything else that I'm doing is still pushing this sport, this media modality,
Mhm.
this one goal. So it's like, you're never doing anything that's like not pushing it. It's like half your time is spent doing something that's not pushing what your actual goal is. Because I can imagine that would get burdensome at some point. Um, I did just see one of your videos with Kava Bar though. That does look interesting.
Yeah, you gotta
That does
come
look
meet
like
up
that
with me
looks
sometime,
interesting.
man,
Hundred
and
percent,
check it out.
100%. It and what you said about commenting, I think that role is great for you. You're very articulate, very energetic, very animated. I think also, like, yeah, your voice and your tone and everything is great for also commentating, not just
Thanks.
competing.
Thank
Um,
you.
where where is Ninja Project trying to be like based? Kind of like where's like home base for this?
Yeah, so Ninja Project, my vision for that is we want to have like a home base here in the North Dallas area, but we definitely want to branch out um, to all across the country and just create more access to more of the recreational crowd too. We really want to create a place where people feel safe, they can be themselves, they can come out
Mm-hmm.
and just have fun. I think Ninja, the one thing that's cool about that, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so I see all these kids out there like with either low confidence or the social aspect has been impacted, whether it's from COVID a while back or whatnot. So it's really to create these cool, exciting, immaculate looking facilities that people
Yep.
come in and just are like, wow, this looks like a dude perfect
Yep.
facility here. If I can like call this home, I can come in here and get encouraged. I can come in here
Mm-hmm.
and connect with my family. I can connect with my friends. I can build business relationships. I can network. And because those are all the
Mm-hmm.
things that have helped me along my way. And so I'm just really trying to build something that others can
Yeah.
benefit from and be a launch pad for them to do whatever their hearts desire. And if I can, not if, but when I do that, that'll be like my thing that I can say, you know what, like, that's I helped create that. Like
Yeah.
I can do that for others. That makes me
Mm-hmm.
feel good. Um and that's what I'm all about. I love people, I love kids, and I just want to make sure that they have an environment that they can thrive in and
Mm-hmm.
really make meaningful change in this world and make it better than where it was when I was in it.
Yeah.
So I just, yeah, I want to make that sacrifice and burn the candle at both ends,
Mm-hmm.
and be able to light the flame for others.
Yeah. No, I love that, and I love starting with the mobile course idea. Um, I've and I am waiting, and I'm waiting for the point where ninja is less of a thing you watch on TV and something that you actually think you can go and do. Because we've had people running marathons, we've had people doing Spartan races, we've had people doing like there's one more that was in my head that I completely forgot.
Like high
Ironmans and
rocks and
like
stuff.
high rocks, like all that stuff, right? Like people go climbing, all that stuff. Like there's um everything has eventually picked up, and I think this is a really good. I think the mobile course thing is a really good way to pick it up as well. Because I know people love doing shit outdoors, regardless if it's not in a
Yeah.
facility, and so even if they don't want to come to a facility, it's still like renting out the course for like a group of people and running it. How has that been?
Man, it's been
Doing that.
great. It's been great, man. Like we've been at some really cool events, like big churches. We're doing like some nonprofits. We have a Memorial Day event coming up here for Carry the Load.
Mm-hmm.
Because the course is very, I mean, we can the I guess the way we set it up can be reconfigured in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially bring like a sample size of the facility out to the audience there, so we can bring it to the community, and then
Right.
also people can see that, oh, it's like not as hard as I saw on the show, because that's one of the
Mm-hmm.
things that like people see. Oh, I see it on the show. That's too hard for me. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
like we can scale it down. Like we can
Yeah.
make it more accessible and inclusive for everybody. And then that way they can get on that course like, wow, I can do this. And now I'm like, okay, great. We're gonna have a facility here pretty soon, or we can like go to other facilities that are in the area that I can point them to.
Mm-hmm.
That way they can just, you know, kind of have a new way of just staying fit. I see
Right.
the Ninja Warrior, the obstacle stuff as like the new way of just building foundational fitness for any sport, like your
Mm-hmm.
gymnastics or whatever, that get you strong in all areas. And so
Right.
the mobile course has been doing amazing. It's been very well received, and we're getting a lot of events booked for this year. We kicked it off spring of last year, so we're right
Mm-hmm.
at about a year kind of anniversary from doing events.
Yep.
And we got a lot of them lined up this year, and I'm excited to see like where this is going for this year, and the impact that it's
Mm-hmm.
making on the community. So very excited.
Love that. No, I love that. I want to switch gears for a second because this might be more of a serious topic. I'm not sure. We can always add brevity to it. But when it comes to competing, um, I don't hear this talked about much, maybe in the ninja space. So that's kind of where my question came from: is how prevalent or um, what's the word? I guess the word is prevalent. How prevalent are things like performance enhancing um, drugs and other ingestibles? Like how commonplace is that with like competitors?
Interesting enough, I don't hear too much about it. I think it's from the training side, like obviously, like you got bodybuilders and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You had like Lance Armstrong, with I think it's EPO or something, the
Yeah.
oxygen, like ninjas. So like you can be as strong as you want, do all that stuff, but you gotta face that balance obstacle. Like
Right.
there's nothing you can do, injectable or whatever, that's gonna help you through that.
Right.
Now, from the training side, if you're looking to get stronger, there's obviously there's different stuff out there like steroids, that different versions of that you can use something to get stronger. But overall, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like for this sport in particular,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be that much of a game changer as far as
Mm-hmm.
with enhancing your physical strength, because you still need the endurance, you still need the technique at the end
Right.
of the day. They don't test for it in any on the show or outside the
Mm-hmm.
show. It's not being tested for. Eventually, I think it probably will, as the kind of the Olympic kind of pursuit there, which it will be in the 2028 games in LA, not as a standalone event
Mm-hmm.
yet, but it'll be in the pentathlon as one of the disciplines,
Mm-hmm.
along with the running, the laser shoot, the fencing, and the swimming. So um, that's one thing I think will take place, is getting more kind of standardized
Yeah.
with that. But I personally haven't used anything enhancement wise other than
Mm-hmm.
just pure will and grit.
Natty. There you go.
And
Yeah.
that
Um,
sometimes fails me too. But yeah, I haven't heard of too much right now. That I've heard a couple of things. People using
yeah.
some stuff to get strong, but overall, like to compete, at the end of the day, you got to be ready to get out there and be technically sound,
Mm,
mentally strong, and being able to put it all together. And so, but it hasn't been an issue to my knowledge as of yet. We'll see kind of where that kind of plays out as the future kind of unfolds.
yeah. Yeah. No, good answer. Good answer. Um, all encompassing. Karsten, dude, this was really fun. This was super fun getting to sit down with you and chat. I like all candidness. There's times when I'll do these podcasts and I'll just like make sure and look at like my recording side to see like how much time has gone by and everything like that. I haven't done that once. I don't know how much time has gone by, to be completely honest with you. I've just been listening and chatting, and I appreciate that. Um, before I let you go, I ask everybody on the podcast this, open ended. It's open ended for a reason. For anybody who's listening today, what is one advice that you would like to give them?
Oh man, I love that. I love that question, man. I'm all about impact. And so one thing I would tell anybody watching this is that if there is something that is speaking to you in the back of your mind that you're thinking about doing, do it. Like take a step, like just do it. Like that's one thing that has helped me is like, even though I thought something was scary, I didn't know if I could do it. I'm not ready for this. I'm not built for this. You know what? Something inside me is telling me like God put that on my heart to say, like, go do this. I believe everybody was created for greatness, and people just need to realize that. And then once they take that step forward, they will be surprised on the people that come into their life to help them get to that next level, whether it's a coach or a trainer or someone to get you in that position. You just take that step on faith and go for it. You may fall flat on your face the first time, but keep going. Like I am a testimony of that through the Ninja Warrior, just doing that, and through business. I'm like, you know what? It's something I want to do. I'm going to go do it. And then I'm gonna find a way. Don't worry about the how. Just focus on the why and just go out there and do it. So that's the one thing I can leave people with is that. And if anybody hears this and they need help in that journey, reach out. Like I'm easily found. I love helping people and helping them make that first step. So that's what I would leave people with. If that voice in the back of your mind is speaking to you, listen to it and then act on it and then make it happen.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love that. I love that. Thank you. No, that's a very good message, especially in today's day and age where there's so many people doing things and so many people who don't think they can do the same things. You can just do it. That's exactly what I've been trying to tell people for over a decade now. Is you saw this scrawny kid, he hit a muscle up. You saw this scrawny kid, he hit a handstand. He almost hit a planche. He didn't hit a planche. He hit a front lever though. He trained for Ninja Warrior, and he didn't compete, but he trained for it. He started making content. He started a podcast. He started dealing with clothes. He started like all these things, right? You can just try things
Mm-hmm.
and do them. You don't have to be good at it. It doesn't have to be the end goal that you think you want to do in life. But spending half a year, 3 months in something new, just to see how it works, like everyone should feel empowered to do that. Not even, I'm not telling you like everybody should go do something, but like you should feel empowered if there's something you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
you can go do it. Nobody's stopping you besides you.
Yeah.
If
Nobody's
anybody is
stopping.
stopping you, then they shouldn't be around you.
Yeah, just go do it. You'd be surprised. People will be surprised what it brings out in them. They'll start finding things out about themselves that they didn't know before because you get in those
Mm-hmm.
situations where you have to do something or make a move and then you really find out truly who you are deep down. And it's a beautiful feeling and it's invigorating. And so been inspired by your journey, man, and seeing you step out and do things. And it's fun to watch you as well. So it's been my pleasure to be on this podcast with you, man. People can
Thank
find
you.
me ninjaproject.com is the best way. Team Karsten on social media. Let's connect. Let's be great together. I would love to help people go all the way to the top.
Awesome. Once again, Carson, thank you for joining me.
Appreciate it. Have a good one, sir.